Hey, what's up, man? HorrorHound. Like I said, I don't always get HorrorHound, but this was the 100th issue, and I just flipped through it. Apparently, they went all out for this 100th issue. I'm not gonna go over all of it. You know, there's a lot I don't really care for, but what I'm getting at is this section, the VHS invasion. Okay. Yeah, I mean, my at my age, man, VHS was great. You know, a lot of people, younger people who never had it, are getting into it. They're actually making it like these companies here, they're making new VHS releases because a lot of VCR still worked, like, pretty much. Mine does. Mine was a higher end one for the time. I was using it for editing, but yeah, and just but looking at this. Okay, I remember all these for so many years going into all the different video stores. Okay, the best ones were the family-owned ones. Right, Blockbuster was convenient, but the best ones were the family-owned ones, and they would always put the saucy movies and the horror movies and the kung fu movies in the basement, or if they had a basement, or in the back, right? And so I'm just looking. I mean, pretty much I want to just look at all these. How many you remember? Blood Diner. Oh, I love Blood Diner. The Children. What an underrated weird movie, right? Burial Ground. You have to watch it to believe it. Yeah, Burial Ground. Yeah. So the Changeling. My late fiance, she loved that movie. And just going through here, I mean, I'm just going through the covers, man. The Craving. This was the remake of the Paul Naschy film, right? The Werewolf and the Vampire Woman. Actually, really good. Imagine that movie with better effects. Curtains. I keep mentioning how great Curtains is. Great film. Dead and Buried. Oh. So, Dolls. Don't Go in the Woods. Right? Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, right? Frightmare. Oh man, this is memories. When you're a kid, right? I was a little wussy. I was like, it was so funny. Like 80, even by 85, 86, I didn't like horror movies, and then something happened to me in 86 and 87. I think it was called adolescence. I think it was called testosterone, hormones, becoming a teenager. And all of a sudden, all these films that I was afraid of, that scared me as a kid, little kid, I couldn't get enough of them as a teenager. More blood and guts and craziness, the better. Oh, From Beyond. And it's funny, some of these I never, like I remember Future Kill, right? I always saw this. And I mean, and that's, I believe that's Geiger's art, or Geiger's style. Never saw that movie. Always wondered what the hell it was about, right? Ghoulies. Yeah. Uh, House on the Edge of the Park. Remember that movie? Yeah. The Incubus. The Incredible Melting Man. Oh man, just looking at all these. So, let's focus on the ones I seen that I never saw the film. Interface. It's not just another fantasy game. So I never saw that. I never saw The Kindred. Going through. I did. Night of the Zombies, of course. Hell of the Living Dead. This movie. Anyone remember Mutant? Mutant, which is funny because there's no creature like this. This is like Alien. Mutant, actually, there's no creature like this. It's like zombie, vampire, like things. Wings houses in it. This is such an underrated movie, man. This is a great movie, Mutant. Yeah, Pieces. I never saw Pieces. You believe that? Rawhead Rex. That I don't even know if I like that movie. I think I didn't like the ending. I think you know why. They came from within. Oh, look at this, tentacles. Oh, I never saw October Blood. I want to see that. I want to see all the heavy metal movies again. That Trick or Treat was great, man. Soul Survivor. Never saw that. So anyway, the point I'm making is I can go through this forever, but you see how cool the VHS box cover art was, okay? Because it was there for a purpose. It was there to catch your eye. There's all these damn tapes on the friggin' shelf. You're gonna wanna, like, I wanna set it apart. Remember this movie? This actor, what was his name? I forgot this guy's actor. He was big in the 80s. The Unholy. This was a good friggin' movie, man. This was like a real Lovecraft type film. I remember the woman in that movie. For some reason, Wacko. Do you remember this? Wacko. You know who's in this? Dice. Hey, Dice is in this. Yeah. So, and just going through, like, these are the re-releases of it. But you see what I'm saying? Like, with the, dude. Oh, this is a great Jaws ripoff, man. Up from the depths. I'm just saying, there's nothing like the covers. Chopper Mall, yes, Chopper Mall. There's nothing like the covers here, right? The VHS things. It just brings back memory. Like, you look through all this and you're just like, what could all this stuff be, right? And speaking of it, oh man, they all go to the Evil Dead, of course, the making of it. Evil Dead. I mean, this was, I didn't realize how successful actually Evil Dead was. I thought Evil Dead, like, wasn't really successful. It was the second film, but no, Evil Dead made like 10 times its budget, so that was a success for them. I know there's some more of these. I mean, if you weren't there in the VHS rental days, then you wouldn't understand. But if you were there, you remember how it was looking at these. It's like a heavy metal album cover, right? It needs to grab you, right, real quick, like a meme today, what's gonna make you go, you know what? Let me grab this and see what the hell this is about. Anyway, that was a huge thing. Of course, the rest of it, Evil Dead. Of course, Evil Dead's always great. Maybe they went overboard. Oh, they made an Evil Dead comic. I remember John Bolton. I remember he did the Army of Darkness comic back in the day, but I didn't know he did one of the first one. I mean, when you're a kid, Evil Dead 2 is a lot of fun. Love Evil Dead 2, but as you get older, the original one is still the best. And the way they made this film, as low budget as you get. Of course, the one thing I don't like about HorrorHound is they got all the tchotchkes. I still don't know what the hell. That's a Yiddish word. And it's like keeping it old school. They have the whole video nasty thing, and they go over the many films that I guess in England they actually had. It was censorship. Oh my God. There's no censorship now, guys. Though we're living in freedom now. So, and you see the films that they cover, and some of these are pretty damn nasty. I know this is gonna sound like, I know you're gonna get mad at me when I say this, but I can understand the censorship back then. Some of these films were pretty nasty, bro. Okay, freedom of speech. Yeah. Listen, one of the biggest what's the word? One of the biggest gotchas in our lifetime is to see how freedom of speech. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Those same people now want to lock you down worse than anything that anyone has suggested in the 70s or the 80s. But anyway, I don't want to get on that. And yeah, some of these are my favorite movies, man. Oh, Love. What a great movie. Anthropophagus. But you go over the whole thing with the prosecuted films. And then, of course, the not prosecuted films. I don't know, Scotland Yard. And you see, Cannibal Holocaust. The driller killer. Remember? Hey, buddy, what's that? A drill. And Night of the Demon. This movie's crazy, dude. The end of this movie is kind of so cheap it makes you laugh. But like the end of this movie, when the fucking Bigfoot comes in the house and starts killing everybody in slow motion, that was fucking awesome. Excuse my language. And you also remember you have all the Gestapo, orgy, Love Camp 7. You got all these. Flesh for Frankenstein, remember? The fucking Udo kid. Oh, Last House on the Left. I mean, I can listen. I can understand. I know I'm getting. I can understand. These were pretty friggin' rough movies, man. I spit on your grave. And also, it's always mentioned. Mark Collette was talking about this. The Werewolf and the Yeti. I love this movie, man. This is the only Paul Naschy film where Voldemort Daninsky doesn't die at the end. I gave it away. Love this movie. Brutal, atmospheric. He fights a Yeti, dude. But then you get, like, of course, SS Experiment. Zombie Flesh Eaters, which is zombie in America. Zombie Creeping Flesh, which is Hell of the Living Dead. And they have other films. Whatever. The Video Nasty thing. They like to, they like to go over that over and over. It's been 40, 50 years now, though. It's kind of like you have to go back in time, for things like this. But, yeah, I could just go over it. I never saw it. I keep hearing this movie is really good. I never saw it. Of course, this movie, and of course, Shogun Assassin, right? The Baby Cart, Lone Wolf and Cub, the movie they made out of it. Yeah, I can see how this could get on a list, man. That was a bloody damn movie. Yeah. So, but the Toolbox Murders, I never saw that. But you get what I'm saying. And just like looking at the old, like I said, once again, the box covers, the VHS is trying to grab you. All right, they gotta grab you here. On Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, dude. A lot of people have never seen this. This is one of the best zombie movies ever made. A Spanish director, Italian film team, shot in Northern England. Hardly anyone knows about this movie. It's amazing. And just rounding out, I liked how they did it. Very David J. Scal, rest in peace, kind of thing on like the 100 years of shocking cinema, right, in the 20s. And they mentioned, of course, the Great War. And they go through it. Yeah, it was pretty. Actually, like I said, this is a good primer. Like if you took someone that didn't know anything about horror films but was actually interested in them and interested in the century of horror films that existed, this would be actually a good primer. I have to say, this would be a pretty good primer. And going into like the Japanese horror stuff. Yeah, this I never heard of this. This sounds really interesting. This film, everyone talks about this film. I have no desire to see it. I can't tell you why. I just don't. Maybe because it's been so hyped. But as I get older, like I said, even the guy who wrote the previous article about the films, like I said, I'm not a gore hound anymore. Like Terrifier is kind of like a throwback, but I'm not really a gore hound anymore. So I like my atmosphere. I like seeing stuff from another time, literally now, because I really don't like the time now. And this was cool. This dude, you see this dude, this Papa Roach looking guy, right? And basically, in California, they go through all the filming locations. I'm only bringing this up because I've only ever seen this guy on the Halloween 3 extras where he's going over like the locations. And I thought it was interesting because I always remember this guy, he's talking to, I forget who he's talking to, and then this guy off camera starts talking shit to him. Starts talking shit, like threatening him, talking shit. So he had mentioned that. Any bad experiences? Well, obviously the Halloween 3 incident. Right? But the thing that bothers me is when you get people who are just assholes for no reason. Right? He doesn't elucidate anymore. So if you're just reading this and you never saw that, you wouldn't know what he's talking about. Basically, this fucking guy starts talking to him off camera, yelling at him and talking shit. And then, after a minute or two, this dude, to his credit, he steps up to the dude like, "What's up? What the hell? What you want? What you want to do, bro? What you want to do? Like, you got a fucking problem? What the fuck you gonna do?" And then the guy starts backpedaling, and you can hear in his voice that he starts choking. What they call it, bottling. You get bottling or whatever you call it. Yeah. So he punked the dude out. It's actually really cool seeing that on camera. So this dude is 53 years old. Damn, I thought I looked young. Anyway, so HorrorHound. And this one, this guy, little thing, some unsung movies. Yo, Channel 5 show this all the time, bro. This movie scared the hell out of me. It's a gruesome little movie, man. The flesh eaters. And that's it. I'm out of time. HorrorHound, you surprise me every now and then.